What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, as we are here watching two very voluptuous things happen, I am going to be telling you guys whether this woman is worth summoning for and the difference between the West Wind, the Demon Longsword, and the brand new daggers. We've done 5 hours of insane testing. Thank you for joining me on the live stream as usual, folks, and I appreciate all the time you've spent here. We are going to talk about whether Gina's worth it, my thoughts on it. I'm going to give you some results, and you guys can decide what you want to do. I will give you that usual sweet spot for her. I'll be real with you guys right now. The best thing about Gina is her outfit. Right now, okay? That doesn't mean she's bad. She just currently doesn't have a main purpose. So we've tested her not only with the fire team, we've tested her with other teams as well too that are non-fire elemental, and we saw whether she was worth it versus what's currently out versus what's coming out in the future. Now, keep in mind, if you are like me, you are going to be planning for future content, right? So you may want to reconsider that. Now, if you do want to check out the full live stream, it will be up on YouTube. There's 4 hours and 50 minutes worth of content for you to watch. We did full-on testing, summoning, etc. And I'm going to give you guys the full breakdown like I normally do. Okay, so before we do anything, how long did it take for me to get Gina? So Gina took 420 summons to get to A5. Unfortunately, 980 to get to A10. We did also get the Demon daggers to A5, and we were able to do a really good comparison between them. So let me give you guys the full breakdown from A0 to A1 to A2, etc. Okay, now we did do POD across the board, and then we did some guild battles as well too, to give you guys some more scores down there. So let me break it all down and make it all make some sense. All right, so first off, Gina was used as a support unit for the blessings. We did use her as a DPS as well, just to see how she worked out, but I'm going to give you guys full results. Okay, so A0, what we essentially did is just use the Demon Dagger skills with Plum Sword. So Plum Sword, full bloom ×5, and then Demon Daggers, Plum Sword, ×5 pretty much across the board, so keep that in the back of your mind. So Demon Daggers at A0 did 96,000 without any skills, just the Demon Dagger skill on its own. Keep in mind, A0 does not allow you to do the 2 skills, it just does the 1. All right, now with A0 Gina, we had 41 million for Choi, 147 million for Yusayun. Okay, so you can see that, that's A0. All right, at A1, the difference went up. So she now provided more to herself. She gave Choi a little bit more, but she boosted Yusayun up by quite a bit. So A1 really could be the stopping point if you needed it to be. With a little bit of RNG, we had bad results here, but Choi's went up quite a bit. So quite honestly, Yusayun should have technically gone up quite a bit as well too. So A2 really is the best spot to stop for her for free to play. Not only is she going to be providing you quite a bit of utility, but she also gives you a better shield and damage increase. So you might be wondering, Payne, what does A1 and A2 do? So let me explain it to you so it makes more sense. All right, so with her skills, the following 2 things happen. So with A0, she'll increase the attack and the fire damage by 15%, okay, for those. So fire units benefit quite a bit, and the attack obviously applies to anyone who's an attack unit. That is her limitation at A0. She provides it for attack units. She does have some support skills though for everybody else. She will heal by 2% for the whole team, and then the whole team will also get a 2% power gauge increase for 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. Now A1 makes a little bit of a difference. It grants you a shield equal to 12% of her attack, increases the damage dealt by 12% for all team members. So in this case, everybody is now viable for this, because damage dealt applies to HP based, defense based, doesn't matter, your mom based, etc. right? Decreased damage by 12% taken. Keep in mind, in order to get the mana transformation to happen, she must also activate mana circulation. To activate mana circulation, she must do 5 stacks of counter current. So it's not instant. This is something that needs to happen over time. Now, why A2 becomes better is the value of the shield for the whole team increases by 20%, so more survivability. But when a shield is granted to a team member, that team member's damage dealt increases by 10%. So if you take this plus this, you get yourself a total of 12% attack, 12% more damage increase, and then an extra 10% damage increase there to make it 22% damage increase. And this is why it's a great place to stop right there. Now, if you want to push for A3, this is probably going to be very useful for content like BOT and anything that requires some sort of countermeasures to crowd control. And then also gravity boost here will also increase the fire damage currently, but really there's really no good DPS. If we go back and look at the results of the testing, A3 really didn't do much, right? You guys can see here, I mean, 163 versus 173, it's really not much of a difference. 63 versus 60, 1 more million for her for damage. Where the biggest difference was A4 and A5. A4 increases damage penetration for all team members by 4% and also increases the defense penetration of fire team members by an extra 4%. So total 8% more defense penetration. If you know anything about Choi and Yu Se-yun, that's what they're all about. You guys can see the numbers did go up pretty drastically at A4. And then the A5 daggers, you guys can see also went up quite a bit. So we got A5 daggers there versus A3 daggers. It went up quite a bit. Now, keep in mind, everything is level 1 skill. So we did another test here with the daggers and we got ourselves way better results. And then also this is now A5 version of her. And this pushed everyone's damage up quite a bit. So A5 was really the best place to stop, obviously, as usual. But for free-to-play players, you ideally want to stop at A2. If you really want to push it, guys, it's A4. So A2 and A4 is where you want to stop. Now, is Gina worth it right now? Right now, not really. And the reason why I say this, if you look at the results here that we had, we did a lot of testing beyond this, by the way. She was in this team here with Yu Se-yun, and she was with Alicia. So 2 attack units, and she did give them quite a bit of a boost when she was on the team. You can see here she did 75 million as well, so not bad for overall DPS. When I switched her up and I put her with Mirai, right? You can see Mirai here was with Hansimiya originally. When I put her with Mirai's damage actually went up quite a bit, almost every attempt. All right, so Mirai definitely did benefit more with Gina's attack bonus and damage increase than she did with Hansimi's wind and crit bonus. And also, I believe this team also had Yu Se-yun. Her numbers dropped, but also she died a minute after. So, oh no, sorry, this team had Choi. My apologies. This team had Choi, and Choi's numbers also went up with Gina. So Gina overall as a support unit isn't just meant for the fire team. She can be used for all teams, and she will boost every single team's total DPS if they're based off attack. And if you get a 2 and upwards, she will base, or a 1 and upwards, sorry, she will base everyone's DPS up, whether they're attack or not, but attack gets the most benefit by far. Okay, so that takes care of Gina. So is she worth summoning? At the moment, quite honestly, she's not 100% required. In the future, that may change. So for free-to-play players who want to go for her, you're more than welcome to A0, A1, A2. That outfit is insane, by the way. A4 is really where the main part stops. A5, of course, is the best place, and then A10, you can push it. Here are the results as well, too, for DPS versions of her. So we did... here, let me just show you guys a couple different results actually for things. So we did Gina with Holy and Sylph. You guys can see she didn't actually boost everybody up quite a bit. Blessing was still better. This is the Blessing set. You can see everybody did a little bit better with Blessing versus the Sylph and Holy set. We also did a comparison between A10 Daggers with A5 434 million versus A10 DKL 388. We'll talk more about those very shortly. And then we did a test with Westwind as well. So you guys can see the results. Dagger skill 10 plus A. It's only A5, by the way. The daggers are A5. 434 million. A10 DKL with all skill 10s did 410, and this is a cursed version, by the way, with level 1 skills for Gina. She did 21 million. And then if you go to level Westwind, you guys can see here with Westwind she did we did 292. So from a weapon perspective, the demon daggers are way stronger than both Westwind and the DKL. DKL's A10 versus A5, but DKL now also out damages Westwind by a lot. One thing to notice as well, the counterattack measure is completely gone from the description. You no longer need it to do the mass amount of damage to DKL. So Westwind, rest in peace. You were great for the time that we had you. But I will say this, Westwind A10 is still probably the best free-to-play weapon until you get these guys at A3 and A3, or A5. A3 and A5, okay? Now, Gina's Curse set, the best damage she did with Curse as a DPS right over here, 39.999999. So let's say 40 million versus Choi's 71 million. She's still not as strong as Choi, but she's not meant to be. She is a support unit. And then again, here are some more results for the weapons. This was Westwind with Plum Sword, 144 million. This was A10 DKL with Plum Sword, 203. And this is A5 Daggers with Plum Sword, 229. So overall, guys, the Demon King daggers are stronger than DKL. DKL stronger than Westwind. Westwind still beats out every other SR weapon, of course, in the market for Wind. Is Westwind still good? Absolutely. Is it the best weapon for Wind? Not anymore. All right. Is Gina worth summoning for? That's up to you. Is she useful? Absolutely. Is she a requirement and 100% required? Absolutely not. We don't know what the future will hold. I can't predict the future, but for now, Gina, I will say, is definitely good, but not a must-have. So I'm going to put this right here for you guys. You guys can check out the full summoning and testing of the videos. We did a lot of it. And we did a lot of testing right here for POD. We did a lot of testing for Guild Boss. So you guys can check out all the results on this live stream and see how we handled it and see how she does and how she performs, as well as the daggers as well too, plus the weapons themselves. All right. So this is all here for you guys, all 5 hours. Feel free to sift through this, use it however you need. But that is the summary. Can you skip her? Probably. Am I going to skip her? I haven't decided. I don't like skipping units. Thomas is on the way in 2 more units. I believe Isla's next, and then Thomas. I am more curious to see how Isla is before I decide on pulling for Gina. I think the best thing about Gina right now definitely is her costume. That's what I'm going to say. But she's far from being useless. She's still a really good overall support unit, but is she mandatory? Again, I don't think so. All right, guys, this is Payne. Thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know what your thoughts are. And anyone who is a content creator, let me know what your thoughts are on this as well, too. I would love to hear from you. Right now, is it a skip or worth? I'd say you can definitely skip for now, until we get more results. We have 2 weeks to decide whether that's the actual case or not. And we'll talk more about that as the time goes by. But for now, with all the testing, I think she's definitely a skip for free-to-play players. If you really do want her, A2 to A4. If you are a whale, of course, you're going to push all the way and you're going to maximize. All right, guys. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.